Stand by for Kevin admitting he was wrong.
So, I may have made a mistake. Last week, some of you guys might have caught a video that promptly disappeared, which was about this little controller right here. This is a kit from 8BitDo that allows you to hollow out an NES or SNES controller and turn it into one of their Bluetooth controllers, which is really cool. But one of the complaints I had is that I thought there was no way to charge the controller without actually reopening the case and plugging it in, because there's a micro USB port inside on the board, and I saw the cable, didn't really take a close look at it, and assumed it was a micro USB like most of the controllers. It's not. The cable it comes with has this specialty little attachment which plugs into the LED light indicator up top that you use in the mod kit, which is actually a pretty genius solution to make this a really simple swap out, so a lot better than I thought it was. But that gave us some more time to be able to mess with the controller, try it on some other stuff, so here we go, round two. If you've been watching this channel, you know I'm a huge fan of anything that involves mixing retro gaming with modern day tech. And a company that does a lot of stuff like that we've talked about a few times is 8BitDo. And one of the most recent things they've done is pretty interesting actually. They've released these kits where you're able to mod an NES or SNES controller into a Bluetooth controller that you can use with one of their retro receivers. They have released their own kind of retro style controllers before, but this gives you the ability to make a Bluetooth controller that actually looks like an official Nintendo one, which is really cool. It's also supposed to be really easy to do, so we're gonna go ahead and try it right now. Now, to be honest, I did try to do this yesterday. We actually shot a bunch, and while the process does look really simple, we ran into one very specific problem we weren't really ready for, and well, yeah, it didn't go great. This screw's definitely in trouble. We're drilling. So am I supposed to go full speed and just wreck this thing? Is that the plan? Okay. So anyways, let's go ahead and try this again, and I have more controllers, so hopefully we won't have that problem. So let's go ahead, you know what? We had a problem with SNES yesterday. Let's start with NES to kind of just start on a different foot. So the process is supposed to be pretty simple. Based on what I've read in the instructions and everything, all we really need to do is pop open these controllers, which is where we had a problem last time. But once you do that, all you're doing is basically just switching out the board inside and re-closing it back up. There's no soldering, there's no dremeling, nothing special like you have to do with some mods. Very, very straightforward. Random thing I just noticed while I'm doing this, taking my time playing with screws. For the longest time, I never remembered or realized that NES controllers have the cable offset. For whatever reason, in my memory, if you just picture in your head, I'm like, yeah, the cable's in the middle, that makes sense. No. All right, so there's the inside of an NES controller. And here's what we're gonna replace it with. Okay, so we have, this is the new board that's gonna go inside. I think it goes this way. No, that doesn't make sense. Now it makes sense. I had the controller upside down. Okay, so this should just go right here. And then where the cable was coming up before is where we're gonna have what I think is like the little syncing button for the controller, which also serves kind of like a little indicator light. I'm not realizing that of the two NES controllers I could have switched out for, this is actually the slightly uglier of the two. Oh well, what's done is done. I'm not backtracking. All right, seems pretty together. I probably messed up in putting the button in. We'll deal with that later. So we've got our modded controller all set up, and you're probably wondering, what are we actually connecting this to, because the NES doesn't have Bluetooth. It's a little too old for that. So like other 8BitDo controllers, this guy's designed to work with a few different other systems. You can use it with like a Switch or Android, which is a little weird because you only have basically 4 buttons and a D-pad, not a great idea. And it should just auto sync after a little bit of time. Yep, there it is. So obviously this is gonna make playing some games rather difficult. So we're gonna stick with Mario Kart. I can't use items and I can't hop or anything, but I can go and break. So that's all we really need, you know. So yeah, if you want to, you could use an original NES. Now you could also use the SNES controller, which would actually make a little more sense and give you a few more options. Actually probably even giving you full functionality in some games, but you know, sometimes you just want to use an NES controller. I can't throw the shell. I want to throw the shell, but I can't. I'm going for buttons that I don't have. So obviously the NES controller is not the strongest choice for anything that isn't an NES game, but the SNES controller on the other hand offers just enough extra buttons that you can use it for a lot more stuff. For instance, I'm hooked up to my MacBook right now and playing a recent indie game, Chasm, which is a kind of retro-style Metroidvania game, so it fits perfectly. It only needs 6 buttons, the 4 front-facing and the 2 start and selects. And yeah, you're able to play it just totally fine. It actually even feels even more natural to me, because this game is clearly meant to kind of capture an older style of game, and this just feels right, especially having grown up on the Super Nintendo. I actually started being better at this game this morning when I started playing it with this controller versus using the keyboard like I was before. The main thing you're supposed to use this though with is with their retro receivers, which hook into NESs and SNESs to let you use their Bluetooth controllers, or these guys. So let's go ahead and set that up right now. We've got a retro receiver already plugged into the NES. We just need to set it up to sync. So I turn the controller on, put it in retro receiver mode. Light blinking, there it is. And then we just set these guys up to sync, and it should just take a moment for them to connect. Emphasis on should.
Oh, so we haven't tested this at all yet?
No, but I mean, I did the same fix on both.
No, gotcha.
Oh, there it is, hey! Okay, took a little while, but it did do it as you saw us mid-worry. But there we go! So, just takes a second, let it breathe. Yeah, other than just the kind of general looseness of playing original Mario, where he's just sliding everywhere, this is working really well so far. It just feels like using an NES controller, just without the cable. One of the things that's cool about this too is that while 8BitDo does make a lot of different Bluetooth controllers that are styled after old Nintendo stuff, the NES controller they have isn't really an NES controller. It kind of looks like one, but they've added shoulder buttons. It actually has a 4-button setup. It's all designed to where you could still use it with other systems and it makes sense. In this case though, we actually have a true NES setup. So this was really easy to do and is actually pretty awesome, but the question is whether or not it's worth grabbing one of these kits and doing it yourself versus just buying a Bluetooth controller that's retro style. And they have their ups and downs. I mean, it's half the price of a lot of other Bluetooth controllers, which is great. It was really simple to do, so it's not any big investment there. But at the same time, especially with the NES controller, you're not getting as many buttons as a lot of Bluetooth controllers will have, so it kind of limits you a little bit in what kind of games you can play. This is especially true of the NES controller, where you really just have the D-pad and 4 buttons, including start and select. The SNES controller, on the other hand, with some shoulder buttons and additional buttons on the side, can be useful for a lot of kind of retro-style indie games, which are meant to recapture that era of gaming anyways, so it can work really well there. Simply buying a brand new Bluetooth controller is the easy answer here, but if you already have an older school controller and you like the feel of it and you just want to update it for modern games, this is for you.